Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Entertainment Plaza in Review with your host, future Hall of Famer Moses Plaza, Master Chief Andy De Jesus, Scott Marshall the author, Guidon Brown, the one they call Smoothie, Angel Rivera, and from YouTube.com/Psychosics, Ryan Plaza. This is the Entertainment Plaza in Review. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Plaza Reviews. Today we are reviewing the Halo TV series, Episode 1. In Spanish, Episado Uno, bro. So,
I don't know about that.
But yeah, man,
right to me.
I'm your
Sounds
boy.
Right
I'm your boy, Moses de la Hoya Jusino Pedro Santo Gonzalez Santiago Plaza Segundo, and I'm here with my boy Smoothie.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
My brother from another mother, Scott Marshall, the author.
Going on, everyone?
My literal brother from another mother, Psychosics.
What it do?
Yo, we got a special guest today. Guys, I don't know. Oh, my God. Look, listen. I don't know if you knew this, but we have Master Chief himself. The one they call Panty. Andy De Jesus. He's, yes, everybody. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Funny, yeah.
Let's go. Let's do
good.
it.
That's pretty good. I like that.
But nah, man. So look, you're watching on Twitch.tv/The Entertainment Plaza. If you cannot watch live or do not want to watch it live, catch us later in about an hour and a half on YouTube.com/The Entertainment Plaza. If you want to catch it on your favorite podcast service, again, just search The Entertainment Plaza Podcast. But without further ado, like I said, today we are reviewing the first episode of the Halo TV series. Brian, what did you think, man? I mean, just a quick, how you felt about the show, and then we'll get into a couple of spoilers and go from there.
I have mixed feelings about it for sure. There were some good parts, there were some bad parts. They definitely broke a sacred rule, I feel like. But I just, like I said, I have really a lot of mixed feelings about it. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
Okay. Guylin?
My thoughts are literally Brian's. Same thing. Start off up, then I went down, and I was up. It was a roller coaster. I agree with the rule situation. It was really back and forth with me, and I had to sit there really, sit back and think about everything that we'll get into a little later.
I was going to say Angel, but I just thought of a new nickname for Angel. I'm going to call him Technical Difficulties from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, TD, how you felt?
So, pretty much kind of like, I hate to go back to this, but the way I felt about Batman. So, like, if you don't know the backstory of Halo or whatnot, you're good with the storyline. I feel like in certain parts, I'm like, wow, like that looks really dope. Like the scenes, and then you have other stuff that it's like, man, this looks better when I'm playing it on my Xbox.
Yeah, completely agree.
The way it went, like from like super good quality, and then it was like, wait, why is that gun almost look like it's floating in the air? When it's supposed to be laying on the ground.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, overall, I liked it. If again, you delete the part of what you know about Halo and you watch this as someone just watching a regular TV series, it's good.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely have to go into it forgetting about the game's lore,
right?
Going into this, but Andy, go ahead.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The beginning, first half hour into it was all right. But the casting, I'm gonna have issues with. But there's a lot of stuff to nitpick on. But with the budget and what they had, it definitely could have gone a little better.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in the same boat. Let me put my joint down here. But to me, it was like three parts. The first 20 minutes, man, it was a banger. It was just complete nonstop action. The second 20 minutes, I'm like, oh man, like, it got to a point where I felt like I was about to fall asleep, and I really had to like focus on the show. Which again, you can't have 60 minutes of just complete action. And then the last third of the movie, I'm like, okay, this is going somewhere. I like how where the story's going, but I'm the same way. And then what Brian said, I'm thinking the whole sacred thing. What were you going to say about that, Brian?
Uh, Everybody knows it. It's an unspoken type thing, but Master Chief's face. Why did we see it? There was
Right.
no reason for it. Everyone's so used to the masked marauder, the super strong Spartan that nobody knows who he is, and out of nowhere we see his face for one no reason. In the
Hmm.
situation that I was in, it wasn't warranted. Why are
Hmm.
you showing your face? It to me it made no sense, and I was like, that's so dumb. They shouldn't be showing his face.
He was trying to get at homegirl. That's what happened. He was like,
Yeah.
"See, take a look at this." You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, yeah, that was my big issue because you never see his face. But I understand why you do it for the show because in the game you're supposed to be the Master Chief. You know what I mean? You're playing as the Master Chief, so you don't show a face because you don't want to have no one feel a certain type of way that they don't look like you. So you never show them. In the show, you got to have someone that people can kind of relate to or like can kind of have a feeling for who he is. But I think they did it too early in the show. They should have done that
Yes.
like maybe later towards the end of the season, or maybe like a couple seasons into the series.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like on the Mandalorian. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't. They showed his face quick. But and that was it. There's something they should have done like that. They kept his face too open too long, in my opinion.
I feel like the face shouldn't have been shown at all. Like just
Yeah.
stick to the story at least for this part because I feel like it's a big part of who he is and it's something that you should have definitely stuck to throughout the whole entire show. And that it was just weird. Like it just threw me off. And then he just never put his helmet back on.
Yeah.
Like why if you like you said if you did show your face put your helmet back on but he didn't
Right.
he just kept it off and then it just became weird and the show just kind of just went left and like Moses said when it started off really good I was like oh I like this the aliens are coming in they look interesting and everything the sword looks nice and everything but then I did feel like I don't know if any of you watched Starship Troopers but I got a little Starship Troopers vibe from it and everything and
Yes,
then it
sir.
kind of went left
Yes, sir.
for a moment.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
that's where the game kind of came from. Sorry to cut you off, Mo, but like after the first Halo came after that
Okay.
movie, so some of that is from Starship Troopers. So
Now, what's up? What's up with him sounding like The Rock? Like I don't like. Even my wife came in the room. She's like, "Is The Rock the main character or not?" And I started laughing. I'm like, I can see why you say that. I was like, "No, not quite."
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Right.
What exactly? Go ahead. I was going to ask, what exactly are Spartans?
they're superhumans. They're pretty much enhanced humans, and then the suit is just gives them
So
extra
makes sense.
power and yeah, more shield and stuff. But they're enhanced humans, pretty much.
Yeah. By the way, I
I
just
feel, I,
noticed I was muted that whole time I was talking on on OBS. But what I was saying earlier, so it was about 20 seconds of silence. But what I was saying was that talking about technical difficulties, right, Angel? But
Yeah.
what I was saying was, yeah, they definitely brought the mask out way too soon. It should have been later in the season. It should have been something that we looked forward to. And now I feel like I really don't have much to look forward to in or episode 2. You know what I mean? Or episode 3. So I
See,
mean,
I would have ended the first season with that. Like
right,
his helmet
exactly.
pops off or
Yes.
something, and then it's pop, but not even show his face yet. I would have, and then you hope you're coming in for season 2, think, oh, we might see his face, or lead up to it.
Yeah.
But they just, man, they blew it. They just went all out on that first episode and just gave it
So,
all.
so have you guys done some research and because obviously there's people are already seen, if not the whole first season or not. See, I'm trying not to, because I kind of want to. So like you guys said, why did they take the mask off so quick? Is there a reason behind it? I don't want to read ahead of it
Right.
because I kind of want to be surprised because because you start reading or seeing reviews and then it can either turn you off or let you
Yeah.
down. So for
Yes,
this series, I'm trying to put the blinders on and watch it as
Yeah.
it comes out.
Yeah. Personally, I
I
feel
just think it
like
has to do with Go ahead, Mo.
personally, I feel like he took the mask off to help, Kwan, who is the little girl,
Right.
Yeah.
to not be scared of him. You know what I mean? To show some,
Yeah, he wanted
to humanize him. Yeah,
himself.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were saying, Andy?
No, yeah, I just saying that I think it's just for more people to get that to understand that people that don't know about Halo to see that they're human, not to know what they are, but I don't know. They could have gone a different way about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I liked and I disliked the weapons. The company came in, they came with the sword, and I was like, all right, the alien weapons seemed like they were legit, and then I'm used to. And
Yeah.
then I didn't. Right there, you go, Mo. And then what I didn't understand, and I actually text Brian about it was like the humans, the regular fighters were using guns that didn't seem to work. But
Right.
then the Halo came with their little pistols, and yet those pistols work. I'm like, this isn't making
But-
sense. They're just
Yeah.
regular guns.
Not
Why
just
are-
that. And the one scene that so regular bullets was not
Mhm.
affecting these guys at all.
Right.
But then my man picks up the big machine gun
I think he took off the truck, eh?
off their
Yeah.
their
He
truck,
mowed them
Yeah, that
down.
didn't work.
and they worked like it was supposed to. So I'm
Yes.
like, wait, what's happening there? You know what I mean?
Now, mind you, in the Halo game, if no one has played it, that most of all these guns are playable weapons in the game. So
Yes.
in the show, there was like a turret gun that was connected to a truck that the humans were
yeah.
using, but yet when they were using it wasn't effective.
Nothing.
Somehow there's an explosion, the truck falls over, a Spartan sees it, the Spartan rips the gun off the truck and starts using it, and all of a sudden it's just mowing through these aliens when it wasn't working for them. I feel like that, and then when he threw his gun down, I kind of just I looked at it like, is that plastic? Like,
What you mean when
that's
it was
just-
kind of floating on the ground?
Yeah, I was like,
Mhm.
what's going on here? That's horrible. But I think at the same time, it is also trying to give us that game feel.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that too, because when his shield was going down, he dropped down, he let his shield recharge and everything before he came out. And sometimes they flash through, through his eyes. You can see
first
the
person.
grenades that he has when he threw the grenade and waited. So I think they are trying to push that, game feel and show feel at the same time.
Yeah,
I think that.
Go ahead,
Oh, my
Brian.
bad.
No, go ahead.
No, I think that was probably one of the parts I didn't like as much, only because I felt as if, the way that they did the HUD or the UI, it was just weird. It seemed a little gimmicky. I'm used to hearing the game noise when the shields regen and stuff like that. And I heard it and I was like, oh, wait a second. I knew exactly what it was, but that's
Right.
only because I've played the game. But when he got, and you're seeing through his eyes and that first person type thing, it seemed way too gimmicky. The way he was moving and the way the gun moved up and stuff like that. I was like, this, to me, it just didn't seem right.
See, I'm the exact opposite, man. I actually really like that. obviously they're trying to play to people who've played the game, right? Like, you know,
Right.
people who put
At that
hours,
moment, yeah.
they're hours and hours and hours. But then they also need to try and play to people who have never seen the game. They've only heard about Halo, right? So I love this. That's when the sound came up for the shield, you know, whatever it's regaining his shield. I was like, oh, shit. You know, he got his shield back.
Right.
And when the first person view that really hit me. And then also when the girl sniped, I think it was a girl Spartan. She was sniping from up top.
Yeah.
I was like, that's Guylan right there. That's
I was
Guylan
thinking the same
sniping. You know what I mean?
I was
Yeah.
thinking the exact same thing.
What are like the villagers? What are they called again? I forget. Well, let's just call them villagers.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was like
When-
Meridian or something like that was the place.
Yeah.
Madrigal is the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
same
they were
difference.
just straight shooting all they had at them and nothing was happening, and then they would get shot once and die. I was like, I feel that. I was like, that's me when I play Halo.
Right, yeah.
I feel that.
That's why
Right.
Mo felt that when the shield was regenerating, he
Yeah.
was hiding. That's why Mo was
Yo,
like,
that's
I
me.
understand
Yeah, I
it.
know. You
I
already
let
know.
this regenerate.
I really should have had some
Nah.
gameplay footage on it, to be honest. But
my thing was when they were fighting and nothing was happening, and then Spartan dropped down the middle. I was like, Andy's here to rescue us. I was like, about time he's here to rescue us.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
take
yeah.
care.
Oh, man.
It's funny you say that because as I'm watching it, in my head, I'm like playing it with you guys. I'm like, all right, this person needs to come through now. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny that, it's exactly what was happening in my head.
Yeah,
Right. But
go ahead.
my thing with the whole, when the whole thing that was happening in that first 20 minutes, the show has a big budget, $200 million supposedly. That's a big budget.
Yeah.
The CGI was some of the worst CGI I've seen.
Seriously,
Yes.
There's shows that have a lower budget that have better CGI than that. You know?
Agreed.
So that's disappointing because knowing what Michael Bay was the one director. He has something part of it. You could tell by these explosions.
Yeah.
They're all the same in all his movies and stuff. But yeah, the way he dropped the gun, man, they could at least use the real gun. They use the CGI. That's why they're so bad. But because I
It was
understand it's
horrible.
big. For having a 200
on the opening scene when they go in and they're just like kind of playing cards and all that stuff. Did you guys kind of like it was kind of weird how it looked real life but like gameplay at the same time? Did you guys notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's what they were
pretty
looking
dope.
for the whole time, though.
And
They were, trying to
movement,
push.
their movement looks weird. Like sometimes their movement looks very weird. Like they're struggling to move,
Right.
and it's like CGI / like using the actual person.
But-
Yeah, I agree.
But sometimes I'll be glitching in the game and everything. So
Well,
it's real life. It was
you're
real
still
life for me.
playing-
Like, how did I even get over here?
The thing is, though, that you're still
You know
playing
what?
on an
It's real life.
Xbox on a day one Xbox One. You're playing on that,
Oh,
and then you're also playing
so
on a
are-
day
so are
one
they.
LCD flat screen from like
But
2008.
they might have
You know what I mean?
They might have
So-
shot the movie on the Xbox 360. So we
That's
don't
very
know.
true. Yeah,
But
I agree.
let me ask you-
Go ahead.
Go. I want to ask: since Andy, you brought up that whole situation with the money? I've never watched anything on Paramount Plus. Do you think that had anything to do with like the network that it was on and everything like that? Because if you watch, if
They
you
just
watch,
picked a bad CGI crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
okay.
The company.
So I
Is
did
it part of,
hear-
like Showtime production.
I
don't know.
I forget.
I thought that's what I heard. It had something to do with Showtime too.
Yeah, I think Showtime
Just
has
some-
a part of it, but they've been trying to make this show, I think, since like literally early 2000s. Like it was a show,
Yeah.
then went to a movie, then a show. So there's so many names thrown out there that doesn't really make sense who's actually making the movie. I agree 100% with the CGI. I mean, when I saw Master Chief running the first time, I'm like, dude, you're taking baby steps. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're 8 feet tall or whatever it is. Use your legs, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not. It did look very bad. Now I would say, what I've read is that as the series goes on, that gets better. I don't know why. Maybe they realized that themselves after finishing episode 1 and 2 that we need to fix this. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, with that budget, there's no excuse for it.
Exactly.
None.
Yeah.
Has
definitely.
anyone else watched any? Like when I looked this up, there's has been so many different Halo adaptations. Has anyone watched any other Halo shows or movies that they have put out so far?
They have like short films on YouTube and stuff like that. But
Yeah, they have like animated films
Right.
and stuff like that, and some like Halo movies on Netflix. Those aren't bad. I saw, I think, one of the Halos. I think it was on Netflix, one of the movies, and it kind of it went through. It gave you the storyline with like the Covenant and stuff like that, and it kind of like took its way through slowly. But since it was animated, obviously it kind of looked a lot better. There was things that more fluid movement and stuff like that. Um, but that was definitely an issue that I saw. Like Moses said, looked like Master Chief was taking baby steps. He'd be on like a full on sprint, and it literally looks like he's going nowhere. But then his jump looked like a jump.
Right.
The knee uppercut looked like a knee uppercut. So why is he running the way he's running? It was really, really weird.
Baby legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like Angel said, I try to go in it a little different. Like, if you look on the Twitch chat, Sky Amazing Guy, he was on one of our episodes about Batman previously. And I try to listen to a lot of stuff that he said about Batman and take it into this movie and not bring in the Halo that I know and just watch it for what it is and everything and see how I like it there. And like I said, it was a roller coaster ride. It was up and down because when it started out and they blasted Chick's head off, I was like, we got something. I was like, we got a show going on. I was
This
like, this is
is-
gonna be something. And then it was like, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This show is rated.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
This show's
Right.
rated
And that's
TV
what-
14. I was surprised.
Oh, wow.
Like, how is this
Yeah.
rated TV 14?
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The way that the
Yes.
alien weapons were a lot
Yes.
more powerful and they wrecked the humans, bro. What?
Right.
Yes. And that's one thing I thought, because when they used the gun, the one that I hate, the yellow gun,
When it
I was like,
charged up,
that gun is trash. But this man was like, boom, and I was like, that gun is amazing. I was like, I gotta use that gun more.
Yeah,
I wrote one of the-
whole. What
Go
you
ahead.
said was PG-14.
Yeah.
You got to remember, back in our
Like-
day, PG-13 was PG-13.
Right,
Now
right.
PG-13, I
that's
feel it's
true.
like rated R.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That does
Yeah,
make
you got
sense. I did one of my notes when I was watching it, and all these people are getting killed in the beginning. I put the deaths are hilarious. Like it's literally, and I think I found it funny only because I wasn't expecting it. Like heads being blown
Yeah.
off. I mean, I
Out
was
of
like,
nowhere.
"Yo, what is going on here?" But yeah, it was kind of cool.
But it
Yeah.
only makes sense because
Awesome.
how are you going to show these guys? Sorry, cut you off, Brian. How are you
Yeah.
going to show these guys so much bigger and their weapons be so much more powerful? Because
Right.
I mean, I don't know if they didn't really say it, but in Halo, or the first one, the Covenant is so much more advanced than the human race. That's
Okay.
why everything happened.
Yeah.
So for them weapons to be overpowered, that's the only way to do it is to wreck them, bro. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it
Right.
worked that way.
I mean, they literally killed everybody there except for Quan. Like, and
In 3.5 seconds.
yeah.
Right. I actually like that part, and it sounds horrible, but I like the fact that he opened up the door and killed all the kids.
Well, the
You know what I
thing
mean?
is,
Like it sounds bad. It sounds so horrible, but when you think about it, the aliens don't care. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
Like sometimes in shows like the room full of children, like the girl will come back and she saves the children, and it's just the children and her, and they fly off somewhere. But they literally opened up the door and was just like,
Placa,
Right.
placa, placa.
nah,
Right,
right, took
yeah.
them all out. So it kind of gave you that feel for like, oh, we hate these guys. Like they're really
Yeah.
bad guys. They're over this killing kids too. They don't care. So I did like that aspect that there was only the girl left and not a whole bunch of kids and the girl who just happens to come back and save them. So I did like that.
I mean, do we know? Do aliens have babies or kids? They don't know.
I mean,
To them, it was just like, oh, more humans. Placa.
Right.
I like that
Oh,
though.
just stick grenades in there, just stuck them and
I would- I would say that after the fact, they all, Master Chief himself was like, the Covenant came in, 150 killed, no one alive, and then he saw the girl. He's like, one civilian alive. It's like very emotionless. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
feel like they definitely did that, so that we can be like, all right, yeah, these Spartans, there's something about the Spartans that Madrigal
different.
was it? Yeah, that they don't like.
Yeah, Madrigal.
They feel like they're demons because that's what the Covenant calls them. So it was
Right.
like they were playing off of that, so that then when Master Chief touches that remnant or whatever it was and starts getting emotions, essentially, it's kind
Made
of
him
a
soft,
stark
it made him
contrast.
soft.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they explained that actually kind of a little bit. If you like picked up the context clues, I guess, when they were inside the ship and the the one Indian lady, like the boss or whatever,
Hologram.
was
Oh, yeah, yeah.
nah, yeah, the boss. She was speaking to
Emerald.
the scientist or whatever,
Yeah,
Mm.
Halsey.
and she was like,
I only
what
know
the
her
heck
name
is
because I
going
love
on with
Halsey.
Chief? What happened?
The scientist's name is Halsey, and I only know that because I love Halsey.
Oh, oh. But she was talking to her, and she was like, what's going on with 117? Because they don't
Right, mate.
acknowledge them as like
Right.
people.
John.
They're
His
like,
name's
Right.
what's going on
John,
with one
by
one
the way.
seven? Yeah,
Of all names,
and
John.
um, she's going off the walls about why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? When he went rogue in the Condor. Um,
Yeah.
and then they explained, they were like, well, his memory should have been erased. He touched the relic. He got some like visions back, they called it, not like
Mhm.
his full memories. And then he touched the relic again, and it seemed like he gained his own independence there. Like Master Chief is that guy, we all know, that doesn't really listen to rules. You give him the rules or whatever, and he chooses to do what he wants. But in the beginning, Master Chief followed the rules. He did everything kind of to the book. He touched the relic the first time, everything changed. Article 72, which was given to him to kill Quan,
Bro.
after she
Oh
said
yeah.
something about her mother being killed by him, you could tell that it definitely, like, it got to him, and he finished her sentence, which was kind of cute, by the way. Um,
Mhm.
and he decided not to kill her, and then they got off of the UNSC um, base together, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well, I guess he's now a rogue, and the other Spartans didn't really care too much.
Well, the other Spartans were there to protect him. So
To protect
Halsey,
them,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Halsey
Yeah,
was
well,
like,
she's yeah.
if
yeah,
anybody messes with Spartan 117, you eliminate them. And they're like, well, they were essentially saying that's our brother. So when they came
Right.
yeah.
out
Anyone
and
who's
pointed their
an enemy of
gun,
Chief,
yes,
yeah,
yeah, when they came out to point their
I like.
guns, they weren't pointing at the Spartan. They
Mhm.
were pointing at the
Mhm.
humans. So
yeah,
Right.
I like them. They were, they didn't have many
Why?
lines. They didn't really have a lot of like dialogue, but the way they
I
were
was,
representing
I
themselves
was
and
like, that's
like,
the squad. That's the
The
squad right
squad,
there.
yeah, yeah,
they brought the
definitely.
squad feeling, right?
but
Brian was definitely the female.
Man. But yeah, so one thing too that I really liked was right before he got the command to kill Quan Ha, they Quan was eating. She's like, "You got anything to eat?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"No." He's like, "Well, what do you like to eat?" And he was like, something about. Let me see. I wrote it down here. Like he made a joke. They were trying to
Yeah.
humanize it. And he was like, "Yeah, I like nuts and boats and microchips." And she just looked at him and was like, "Was that an attempt at a joke?" You know what I mean? So that I thought that was
Right.
really cool. That was another point trying to humanize him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Brian said, then at some point, they sent Master Chief the task to terminate Quan, which I was like, oh damn, like, that's the point where it started getting good again. It was 20 minutes
yeah,
of a lot of
yeah.
it felt like politics to me. A lot of politics within the UNSC, but he decided not to. And let me see one of my notes I put final quarter is getting interesting. He took the mask off, and first time ever anything in anything where Master Chief is unmasked. And again, how do we feel about that? It's just like, oh man, dude, it's too soon, too soon. But
Yeah, too soon.
yeah, we talked a lot about
I mean,
that.
it's too soon, but I kind of get why they did it. I mean, again, we're going at it as like Halo fans, the game.
Yeah,
I think this is more for like Halo trying to expand its audience to,
right.
possibly bring people that don't know about Halo to bring them in.
Yes, but are you teaching them about Halo by changing the storyline?
Yeah,
You
I mean,
understand? Like you bring them into Halo, and Halo has a specific thing. Like, let's go,
right.
Master
I see what
Chief.
you're
We never
saying.
see his thing. That's Master Chief's thing, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, we're gonna start a movie, and we're gonna start it by changing who Master Chief
Right.
is,
Right.
and it completely takes away from the storyline. Just keep it for what it is.
Yeah, I
Supposedly,
think it's them trying to kind of separate Halo series from Halo the game.
yeah. Supposedly, this storyline takes place before the game Halo Reach. So, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I played
So
all the
that's like
Halos.
three
Yeah.
three Halos in.
Right. So, I don't know the lore too well. Like I've played
would
all
be
the games,
four.
but I haven't necessarily kept up with it or remember the lore, but it's supposed to take place before Halo Reach. One of the producers said so.
Yeah,
Who knows?
what the 4 is the one that they what's the one that the Spartans first came in, because it was always just Master Chief. They never really had the
I think that
squad
was
or
5.
shoulder squad.
I think that was 5.
5 was that
No,
Mo. You
4.
remember 5?
Yeah, 5 was
5,
horrible.
Master Chief came back. The
5
4
was
was the
horrible.
one that it was called Spartan. Was it Spartans?
Oh, it could have
Halo
been.
Spartans?
Yeah, you're right. It could have been.
So
Yeah.
I can forget, but yeah,
Brian, that was before your time. That's okay.
Hey man, I've played them. Okay.
Oh man.
I seen him played on YouTube.
Right. But does anyone know what that actual relic is? Was that something part of the lore in the games, or that thing that he touched?
I believe it has to do with the actual Halo itself.
Okay.
So it gives them, I don't know. I forget. It's
Yeah,
been
it's
so long
weird.
since the
Well,
first.
we'll find out soon.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just to kind of give a little bit more of the plot, we probably should have said spoilers because we've been saying a lot about the show. But if you haven't watched it by now, that's your fault. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's Paramount Plus. Paramount
Said
Plus.
that in the beginning, bro.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus is free on T-Mobile. If you have T-Mobile, go get that free year. It's Paramount Plus. You got Xbox Ultimate. You can get 3 months free of Paramount Plus. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be watching Halo. But it gets to a point, right? Yeah, it gets to a point where they cut the oxygen in the ship, and Quan passes out, but Master Chief doesn't because he has his own supply of oxygen in his suit. They cut his oxygen to 40% just so that he passes out but doesn't die. He stays in a coma. He eventually just wakes up. I don't know how. And, manually turns the oxygen back on. Yeah, exactly. On the ship. It gets to the point where they shoot his ship and it lands where they're at. I forget exactly what it's called. The little plot of land or whatever. Yeah, their
It's
base.
like a town almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They get there. He's pretty much dead to rights. That's when the other Spartans come and they're pointing their guns at the ship, or at least they think they are, but they're actually pointing their guns at the other humans. He touches this relic and it just sends this pulse wave out that just eliminates all type of energy and electricity everywhere, but gives his ship, powers it back on, and
Right.
off he goes. And the last thing he says is, "Strap in," and that's it.
Yeah.
That's where that one ended. So,
Yep.
one thing I will say about this show, it started off slow. So, and it reminded me, it did. Like the first episode for me, it was like, I'm not looking forward. I wouldn't say that I'm like, damn, I can't wait for next Thursday to watch the, episode 2. That's what I mean by it started off slow. And it reminds me a lot of how I felt about Game of Thrones. Well, no, not even that. Game of Thrones, I started it, watched an episode 2, and it was slow. And I was like, it probably took about a year and a half, 2 years before I watched. Actually, it may have been like 4 seasons. And then once I stuck with it, it was like, oh, this show is dope. And I'm hoping I get that same.
My mom doesn't let me watch Game of Thrones, so I can't speak upon that.
Yeah. But I'm hoping I get that same kind of vibe with this. It may start slow first, second episode, and then it really takes off from there.
I heard the second episode is horrendous, dude. Like,
No,
it's,
shut. I don't want to hear none.
I heard it's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear it's bad. I did hear that the first and second episode really, you should take both of them almost as episode 1. And it helps a lot with the lore and stuff like that. Again, it's going to be a lot of politics, but I'm looking forward to seeing the second episode. Yes, I am going to see it, but I'm not like, damn, I can't wait for next Thursday. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of shows that need that build up though. Like the first episode or 2 is just trash, and you're like, all right, it gets better, then it gets really good by the end. I'll take it. I'm gonna watch it the whole way through.
I think Netflix ruined a lot for me. I hate waiting week for week.
Right.
It really, I think,
dude, I'm the same way.
WandaVision for me, like WandaVision, and it just like I just couldn't get into that show. And this one's, I feel it's gonna do the same thing. Like, if you don't start out with a bang and it don't get you hooked right away,
right,
you're gonna lose a lot of people. And this week to week stuff,
episodes, that's so ghetto.
I think
so.
So 2004.
Well, they do that to keep you subscribed for 2 months. You know what I mean? Because you can literally binge it for in one day. But I'm the same way, dude. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that now we're this is my second job, it feels like, doing podcasts and reviews, I would literally probably have waited, 9 weeks.
To the whole thing's
yeah,
done.
till it's done,
Yeah, and then
or at
watch
least
it.
5
And then
weeks.
binge
Like
watch it.
5 or 6 weeks and binge watch it, and then wait for the next. But it's tough because we are kind of spoiled now with and Netflix is doing the same thing. They're doing weekly episodes on a lot of stuff, but they really did spoil us at first. Yeah, I agree. Stupid. It's. I wish it would have came out the whole thing at once, but it is what it is, man. But hopefully next week, it does play more into the lore of what we're hoping to expect. So,
Yeah.
but
Other thing I think is going to come out of this is a good costume for Halloween. They're going to have better cosplay costumes.
yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm definitely going as Halsey. That's for sure.
I'm gonna be Quan Ha.
All right, we got Halsey, we got Quan Ha. We already know who Master Chief is. Brian, you're gonna be one of the Covenant.
I'm going as the chick that got her head blown off.
Man,
Yo,
that's hilarious.
That's what I'm waiting for. The little what do they call it? The little
The grunt?
minions.
The
No,
grunts.
the little ones that always talk. The grunts.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
suicide bombers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still haven't seen Cortana either. Remember that?
No,
Yeah, right.
So
Was what was
She's in
the?
human form?
Yeah,
she
it's
was
true.
in that capsule.
Yeah.
She is.
oh, that's right. That was her.
Well, I don't want to say it is spoilers, but she is the doctor or whatever.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I was gonna say that too, but
Yeah, that's what I thought. She
She
did look
mentioned
like
it. She said, well, something about the Cortana program,
yeah, right,
and the boss was like, absolutely not. Like,
right.
you don't even have the funding to be doing what you're doing now. Get your Spartans under control. Everything else is out of the question. And you could see she was mad.
Yeah.
Right.
And the one chick, I forget her name. She was actually Halsey's daughter, and then the black dude, that was her dad. The one that she's. I
She
have
was
a
a
feeling.
hologram, right?
Yeah, the hologram. Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
feeling she's going to play a huge part in the show because she has that dichotomy.
Captain Jacob is his name.
Okay.
Captain
Yeah, she
Jacob.
has that she has a heart. That hologram girl. Whereas the mom, she's more so like her mom. Although she says she hasn't really been a mom. She's just been doing her thing, and she's more like her mom than her dad, and she doesn't really realize that. But any final thoughts?
He was in the game. Yeah, he was
Was
in
he?
the game a lot in the first game. Yeah, in the first
Oh
game.
yeah, I do
okay.
remember that.
He was more with the because you would go in with and you would help out the soldiers and stuff.
That's
And he was
right,
always
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
main characters that communicated with the Master Chief. But
Right. But any final thoughts from anybody from episode number 1, Brian?
I really don't have any. I mean, aside from I hope it gets better from
Yeah.
here. I really do hope that it gets better.
How about you, got it?
I'm like I said, I'm gonna watch it all. I did like the aspect of it made me feel like we're back, the crew's back together playing Halo and everything. So
My bad.
I hope I hope throughout the rest of the show it still gets that feeling and brings back good stuff with it. I'm just waiting to see. It also made me really hope that they take this and do a Gears of War show.
Yeah, that would be
pretty
dope.
cool.
That would be dope. How about you, Angel?
Yeah, I'm with it. Like I said, the CGI kind of threw me off a couple times there, but again, there were some parts was shot like amazing,
Yeah.
and then not so much on other parts. But I'm with it. I want to watch it.
Master Chief, I mean, you got. Well, hold on. Let me give my thoughts, man, because Master Chief got to have the final thoughts here. I am definitely. I do want to watch the rest of the series because I am a Halo fan. Halo Infinite when it came out. Although we haven't played it much lately because Guyland decided to start a damn podcast and now we don't have time for anything. But it's something that it really got me back into the multiplayer. And then when the show came out, it was perfect for me. I'm really into the multiplayer. First multiplayer in years. The show's great. At least I was hoping the show would be great. It's good. It's not great.
Yeah.
2/3 of it I loved. The middle, third I wasn't so pleased with, but overall it was good, and I do want to watch the rest. I just wish, I had that feeling from like a lot of other shows where I'm like, I can't wait till next Thursday. But that was just me. Master Chief, final thoughts.
I really enjoyed the first episode until he took the helmet off. Then that really disappointed me because it wasn't until think Halo Combat Evolved, one of those I think that's the ones that you kind of like just set the guys out and they fight or whatever. That he took his helmet off, but they don't show his face. The camera just like shakes, and so it really disappointed me. I really felt that they would have held on to that and kept it on maybe to, like I said, the end of the season. Would have helped out, but I'm really interested to see where they go with this. I hope it picks up. Like I hope they do a lot better with the CGI and stuff, and it picks up. I think the action is going to be really good in the series.
Yeah, agreed. But anyways, guys and gals, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, we are live right now on twitch.tv/the Entertainment Plaza. It'll be up on YouTube in about an hour or two. If you watch it on YouTube, please make sure subscribe, like, share. It'll be up on all podcast services later tonight or tomorrow mornings. If you do listen to it on podcast services, make sure to leave a review. Believe it or not, it really helps us get our name out there. And when people leave reviews, when people subscribe, and when people like, you know, it goes out further than what you believe. But
spread the word.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But for everybody else, I'm Moses. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Peace out, everyone.
Deuces.